Hi again then guys, and welcome to another speed tune for Forza Horizon 4, and as you'll have seen from the card at the start of the video, if you're new to the channel at least, I would recommend hitting the bell for the notifications because otherwise YouTube is not showing the majority of subscribers my new videos. But with that out of the way, if you were on the channel yesterday, you probably saw that I actually already did a build for the Supra. So you're probably thinking, well, why are you doing another one? Well, as a little note in the thumbnail, there is a difference, because yesterday's build was basically the approach that I would usually have to take, which is fitting the V12 engine, because that gives you the most power. But interestingly, when it comes to the Supra, they actually allow you to extract more power even than that V12 from the standard 2JZ engine, which is a pretty cool difference, because this is probably the first game I can remember playing at least that gives the Supra engine the kind of respect that it actually deserves. Gran Turismo certainly doesn't, and Forza hasn't in the past either. So you can actually tune that stock engine, you know, the stock motor, not in its stock form, to over 1600 horses. And as you'll have seen from the title, and as you can see here from the benchmark, it actually makes it that little bit quicker as well. Now once again, if you fit, for instance, drag tyres instead of racing tyres, you will make the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 even better. You're talking under 3 seconds to 100, about a second to 60, so it's an absolute drag monster, especially when the top speed is actually technically better than something like a Chiron, which is very impressive. Now as far as the tuning goes, in terms of the parts at least, I get asked a lot which parts do you actually fit to the car. Well, for this one it's easy. Standard engine, convert it to all-wheel drive, make sure you do the turbo conversion, of course give it all of the power upgrades, drop the weight as much as you can. You don't have to give it a roll cage, that's down to you. I often don't, but you can. The most beneficial cars with that are muscle cars anyway. You want the racing transmission, clutch, flywheel, diff, tyres, all that kind of stuff. Of course, drag tyres are down to you. Pick whatever aerodynamics you want, you know, front bumper, rear bumper, that kind of thing. Doesn't matter too much. As far as the wing, I've opted to not have one. You can if you want to, but you do need to be careful of how much downforce you're running, and we'll get to that in a second. But as far as the gearbox goes, once you've fitted all of that, I would recommend a final drive of 2.65, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.18, 0.96 and 0.76, so pretty similar to yesterday, but still an advantage because of the sheer power and torque. As far as the alignment, we've got half a degree of camber, and then the highest caster angle you can get with neutral toe, as you can see. The anti-roll is on 35 and 30, springs on 125, 120, and the lowest ride height on the front and the rear. You can actually improve the top end speed, I believe it is, by raising the front. If I just do it now to check, I believe that improves it a tiny bit. Just waiting for that to load. Yeah, see, it's like a 0.1 increase, so you could do that if you want to, but it's not essential. I would actually recommend not doing that because it tends to make the handling a little bit too loose. But if you're only using it as a drag car, then you could certainly try that. As far as the dampers, we've got 12, 11, 6, and 5. Aero, as I said, doesn't apply. And if you do fit the rear wing, especially something like the racing wing, make sure that these are set as low as they can go. And as far as the diff, we've got 100% on the acceleration bias, 0 on decel, and as you can see, a center split of 75% toward the back end. So you've got 25% going to the front, which is still more than good enough for launching and for, you know, tackling off-road stuff as and when necessary. But more importantly, it still allows the handling to be loose enough to have good steering. Now, just like yesterday, if you want to grab this tune on your car instead of doing it yourself, you can get it from my storefront. So you can use my gamer tag up in the top left of the screen, or you can use the search tag of like HSG, for instance, to actually search for the tune. And I put HSG in the title of all of my tunes anyway, so you'll be able to find that pretty easily. But of course, what you want to see, especially in comparison to the V12 setup, is how quick can this one actually go. Now, as you'll see from this race, the top speed is indeed improved. The handling still requires a little bit more finesse. It certainly is a car that likes to go in a straight line. It feels like a dragster naturally, even on racing tyres, but 274 miles an hour is guaranteed from this tune. As you can see, you've still actually got a little bit of draft potential before you hit the red line as well. So if by some chance you get in behind like an Agera RS or an EB110, you can go even quicker. So if you do decide to use this tune, I hope of course you have a ton of fun with it. As I said, be sure to hit that notification bell, it's hugely important, otherwise you won't see my new tunes, and of course stick around on the channel for more. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.